Today I'm setting up my next journal. We did a little vote, navy or black. I do all of my votes on Instagram, so if I ever have a question like, hey, I just finished my journal, what color are we gonna do next? The poll is on Instagram, and I totally listen to the winner of that poll always, which is why my next journal is going to be black. This is the classic black. I bought a bunch of Moleskine journals at Staples, like, I wanna say 2 years ago at this point, because the Staples was closing down, they were going out of business, they were shutting the doors for the final time, which means their Moleskine notebooks were like 75–80% off, which is why I have kind of like a stockpile of 3 different variations, and today we're going in with the black. So our discography color coding. So the color order is what I want it to be. Honestly, I feel like the black journal is just what was next. I don't know why. Like, I looked at the stack of journals that I have, and I was like, obviously black is the next color. Like, before I even looked at the previous colors I'd done, I don't know, I felt it in my soul, and you kind of know that. You kind of know that going into it too, which color it's gonna be. Last time I didn't have a real preference, but this time I do. This time I do. So here's the color order now. Looks pretty good. Looks how I want it to look. Oh. Sometimes when I do journals, I try and do sticky notes to like indicate how I'm feeling that day. I'm trying to, let me see if I have a good example of this. I think this one's good. So every day I would assign a color sticky note to my mood. So green was like, I'm feeling pretty good. It was a good day. I'm having a good time. Yellow, what's yellow? Yellow is, oh no, that's green. Oh, it's fading. These are faded. I was gonna say. Orange is, I'm on the fence. I'm like, ugh, I'm like not feeling too hot. Purple is okay. And yeah, so I guess orange is bad. Green is good. Purple is fine. Orange is boo. And I feel like it's a confident, I had mostly green days. What the heck is blue? I'm seeing blue at the end here. Blue is also okay. Maybe I ran out of purple and I switched to blue. That'll make sense. That makes sense. I like to put anything and everything in my journal. Some people will ask me, like, what do you write about in your journal? Like, I don't have anything to say. I have so much to say. I'd be absolutely off my rocker if I didn't have a journal to write in. Like, I finished this journal maybe an hour ago and I'm already like, ugh, I need to write down my thoughts somewhere or else my brain is going to lose it. This year I do want to get, I know I'm on a no-buy, but with the California fires happening and everything, I think that getting a fireproof, like safe box, some kind of thing to protect against natural disasters for my journals and just like other important documents. I mean, I take the important documents with me and probably the journal if I have enough time, the journals if I have time, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes like stuff just happens. So by default, I would like to keep my journals in a very safe place because I would be devastated to lose all of this. Holy moly, that would be awful. I actually have one journal that I kept in my bag, or I had in my bag, and I had a water bottle bust open in my backpack, and it erased like a good chunk of that journal. I'm trying to see which one is it. Which one underwent water damage? It was horrific. Oh, it was so upsetting. Because that was the year that I had met my husband, my now husband's family for the first time. So like I had notes in there about like my first impressions and how everyone was, and like, that one's fine. This one's okay. Was it you? No, this one looks pretty, this one looks solid. I did it, it was multicolored. It was a multicolored journal. Who was it? Who had the ordeal? And after that journal experienced the water damage, I switched to a digital journal. There's this tablet called Remarkable, and it's just like a paper tablet that you can write on. I used that for a while because I was so freaked out about losing my journals again. But then I went back to paper and I was like, I'll just be extra careful because now I'm aware of what can happen. And I only use black ink now too because like I said, the journal that had the water damage I used like different colored pens for how I was feeling that day. And anything that wasn't black like washed away. Oh, it was awful. It was horrible. Oh, no. I don't even, I hate to say it. This is a personalized journal that I got. So like on the Moleskine website, you can get a personalized journal. So I just had mine say Rebecca L, because my last name used to be Lance before I got married. But yeah, and also I don't have enough, like, this box isn't even big enough to hold all my journals. I've been looking for a new box in general to hold my journals in, so I figure the next one can just be fireproof, waterproof, everything proof. I want these journals to get their best chance at standing the test of time. Maybe I'll put them in Ziploc bags too. I'll look up that. I'm gonna look up like journal paper, like paper preserving techniques, I guess. Not that there's anything really interesting going on in there. I do spill a lot of tea though. Like, even if the people in my life, if I'm talking to someone on the phone and they're telling me information like, oh, I'm going to this interview, I just started a new job, this person at work is bothering me, I'll write about it in my journal. I'll be like, talk to so-and-so today, this is how their job is going, this is what they're doing, this is who they're dating. Like, I'll give updates on other people in my life, because actually it's quite fun to go through my journals, like read history, and then when I get to an entry about someone else, I can like text them and be like, well, just read a journal entry about you. This is what was going on in your life while this was going on in my life. And it's kind of nice. So this is the Moleskine notebooks. I'm a Moleskine stan. So Moleskine journals are just like my favorite journal. They're the ones I like to use the most. If you're a beginner journaler and you struggle to make yourself write a bunch or write frequently, I recommend starting with a smaller journal, like one with less pages, one that's smaller. That way you can feel like you're making as much progress as possible. That way, like, you can flip the pages sooner, and it makes you feel like you're doing more. It makes you feel like you're accomplishing more. And I think that little dopamine hit is what helps keep us back for going, or keeps us coming back for more. Like my earlier journals, they're smaller, the lines are wider, because I wanted to feel like I was making progress. Additionally, I also like print out photos. So for example, I have photos in this one. Yes. So like, for example, I have like photos printed out. I don't know what I wrote in here, so I'm like worried. I have photos printed out. I use this HP Sprocket. I've been using it for years. This one, this guy, I'm out of paper right now, so I can't print out any more pictures. But you get zinc paper, and you just print them out and you stick them right in your journal, and it's fun to talk about. It takes up space. That's why I really like junk journaling too. You get tickets to somewhere, you put it in your journal. You get something for something, put it in your journal. You find a piece of paper on the ground, put it in your journal. Actually, don't touch paper on the ground. That's probably really unsanitary and not good. So anyways, yeah. To set it up, I don't do anything really special. In the beginning, in the front of the journal, there's a place to like put your information and how much money you'll give a person if they find your journal. I put my name and my email, and then I put please in the reward money section. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. My phone number changes semi-regular. Well, not regular, but like every couple of years I change my number. So putting my phone number is not really the move. I'm never worried that someone's going to like find my journal and read it and quote unquote expose me, or someone's gonna read my journal and have their feelings hurt. Like, that's my journal. Whatever, if you read something that hurts your feelings, that's kind of your problem. You know not to read my journal. So actually, you invaded my privacy, and that's what you get. So put in that information. And what I like about Moleskines too is in the back of it, they have a pocket. So if you have something that you don't want to like paste in the journal, you can put it in the pocket back here. There's a manual. And then you're fine. And then you're good to go. I like to write about pretty much anything and everything. I use my journal to brainstorm stuff. I use my journal for scratch notes. I use my journal to pass the time. Like, I'll write in my journal just to say that I don't have anything to write about, and then I'll just blab. I'll just like, I'll write about nothing. You can scribble in your journal. You can cut out pieces from magazines. That's what I used to do. Like a J14 magazine, I used to cut out, like I have excerpts about One Direction pasted in my old journals. Like, you can do whatever you want. You can put anything in there. Like, it doesn't have to be important. It doesn't have to be significant. My only note is make an effort to write in your journal when you are happy. Make an effort to write in your journal when you're proud of something that you did, because I found that it's really, really easy to just like in your journal when you're mad, when you're angry, when you're upset, when you have negative feelings. And so when you go and look back at your journal, like you want the positive things to be in there too. So even if you're like, ugh, this stuff happened, but I don't really want to elaborate on it, that's fine. Write in your journal. What I like to do is I like to do full date. So like, for example, like January 20th, 2025. And then I put the exact time that I started writing, which would be like 11:58 a.m. or like 7:52 p.m. Like I put the exact time I start writing. And then when I'm done with that journal entry, I will put a little heart at the end to like indicate that it's the end of that entry. And then if I want to do another one in the same day, I'll write the time that I started writing. So I don't do the full date every single time. I'll only do the full date if it's my first entry of that day. Does that make sense? So basically, if you have something good that happened, if you want to recap a few stuff, but you don't want to go into it, you don't want to write paragraphs upon paragraphs upon paragraphs, that's fine, that's fine. Just write down bullet points. Be like, graduated. These people showed up. We went to dinner here. Like, do bullet points. Going to Disney. Saw my friends, it was nice. Like, you can write just so little. You can just write bullet points, but things that like you want to remember. And something else I like to think about is if I'm telling my future self about something, like what do I want to tell me? What would I care about in the future? If I want to go back to my journal and I want to read some tea, what's the tea? What's going on? Like I'm giving my future self tea. Isn't that so exciting? Like you're giving tea to your future children, maybe. In my journal, I do apologize a lot if I get graphic about stuff. I'm like, listen, if you're related to me, apologies, you might want to skip the next like half page. That might be in your best interest to ignore what I'm about to say next. Or if I don't do that in time, I go, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Because if I have children in the future, they're not going to want to know. They're not going to want to know all the things that I've told them in the journal. So I'm hoping that like maybe like a great-great-grandchild reads my journal. Maybe a great-grandkid. That would be distance enough. A grandkid might be too close still, unless I've like passed on. That might be fun. But yeah, so that's how I think about it. And it's really easy once you get the hang of it. It was hard for me in elementary school. Elementary school is when I started making an effort to write in my journals because I was worried that I was gonna forget stuff. Because I would talk to older people and I'd be like, who was your second grade teacher? And they couldn't tell me. And I was like, that's scary. That strikes fear into my heart. Why don't you remember? So I started keeping journals because I wanted to remember. I was like, I want to remember all the things that are happening. I want to remember the way that I think about things now. Like I want to remember in my own words what my experience was. So I started making an effort in elementary school to start keeping journals. I was bad at it, but I mean, I tried. I gave it my best shot. And then middle school, I think I fell off a bit. High school, I did better. High school, I had a lot to say. And in high school too, I didn't bring my journal with me to school. That's too risky. That is too risky. I would never have brought my journal to school. But I did like, if I was having my day, I would write down in my notebook. Like if I was like, oh, I want to write about this, I would write about it in my notebook and then I would cut it out and then I would put it in my journal. And that's how I did high school, the most of the time anyways. College was easy. I was set in college when it came to journaling. And as an adult, it's kind of like, it's like one of the main ways that I cope with emotions, I will say, outside of spending money. So if you want to start keeping a journal, you totally can. Don't put too much pressure on it. If you're a perfectionist, let it go. Let it go. You mess up on something, scratch it out. Doesn't matter. Adds character. Honestly, I feel like if my journal did not have a bunch of scritches and misspelled things and all that stuff, like it would feel less authentic. It would be less interesting to me because this journal is like, that's how it is. That's how I am. That's what's going on. Yeah, I did mess that up. What about it? What about it? Yeah, that is uneven. Okay, that doesn't totally make sense. Whatever, dude. Whatever. Just write about it. Have a good time. It's not that deep. It is not that deep. In fact, it's exciting. I write in cursive too. I think cursive looks really nice. And also writing not in cursive makes my hand hurt quicker. Cursive is so quick. Don't even pick up the pen. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And I feel so regal. I just love it. I love it so much. Anyways, the journal setup. Maybe I'll like, how can I show you this? How can I show you this? I'll show you a previous one, because what I like to add in these is a reading tracker. That's like step one, essentially. I totally fell off the map with doing it, my last journal. Ooh, is it at the bottom of the pile now? That would be a bummer. I feel like this one might have one. This one or the pink one. Okay. Reading tracker should be maybe purple. Yes. Okay. What's on this one? That's embarrassing. Okay, I'm not gonna show you that side. But this side, this is what I do for my reading tracker. We've got a column for the author, a column for the type of thing it was, so like a book, a fanfic, a Kindle Unlimited, like however I want to class that thing, that's what I put there. And then I do my start and stop dates. If I don't finish it, then I put DNF. Obviously, I didn't read jack anything with this journal. Nothing of note anyways. But I figure, because I want it to be as low pressure as possible, I don't like the idea of having like a whole book reading journal. It's too much commitment. I figured if I start the book and then finish the book, like on the day that I finish the book, like this one I finished it February 4th, 2024. Okay, did I have any thoughts on this book? Well, let me flip on over to February 4th of 2024. Did I write about it? No. Okay. Answer received. Oh, that's when I read Crescent City. I wish I could read that series again. For like the first time. But yeah, that's the main thing that I put in here. There's also, what is this? Oh, pleasantly surprised. Oh, okay, I put a little page in here called Pleasantly Surprised, which is like when something pleasantly surprising happened. It's blank. It'd be like that sometimes. But I put when, so the date, what, and why. So what was it and why did it happen? That's fun. Maybe I'll put that in my new journal. I think I will. Yes, but black was the vibe. The black one was the vibe. Navy, not today. Not today, not this go around. So I'm so glad that we all agreed on black being the next color in the lineup. Thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you like to journal, welcome. If you have any questions, let me know. And yes, I will post more videos later.